Ms. Caneiro told Ms. Wallace that, she didn't want to meet, but she would get up on the stand and tell the truth. I mean, I got to be honest. I'd love the defense to call Ms. Caneiro and the two daughters in their case, but obviously I don't control that fact. I'd love to cross-examine them. Ms. Wallace had actually spoken to Ms. Caneiro. She was very nice, my understanding of the conversation. She agreed to meet with us. Then we had to be here in court. She came for the first time in 8 years to court and watched the arguments to have her husband released, and we had to cancel that appointment. Other attempts recently to try to meet with her and her daughters. We've had to go serve, the detectives had to go to her home to serve her because it's the only way we could make sure that they potentially, be aware of when, that they were under subpoena. They told us through Ms. Mastalone, well actually, Ms. Caneiro told Ms. Wallace that, she didn't want to meet, but she would get up on the stand and tell the truth. I mean, I got to be honest. I'd love the defense to call Ms. Caneiro and the two daughters in their case, but obviously I don't control that fact. I'd love to cross-examine them about being leveraged. There were attorneys there that day on Mr. Caneiro's behalf at the Ocean Township Police Department, two, in fact, one of which gave a statement in his case, which was sort of intimated when Lieutenant Brady was asked questions about Cap and Harrington. There's also another statement, and we haven't chose to use that witness because I would imagine they're going to argue it's attorney-client privilege, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, I would welcome the opportunity to cross-examine all three of them about this information, but
I'm going to take a break. I hear you.
Was there a point in time when you were awoken from sleep that morning?
Yes.
Can you tell us exactly how that happened?
I woke to male voices outside my home. I turned, I looked at my clock. It was 4:30 a.m. in the morning. I got up, I opened my window shade, and I looked out my window. I saw two men running across the street with flashlights. They were in dark-colored clothing and black baseball hats. One ran to the front door and started banging on the door, and the other went into the neighbor's driveway, kneeled down, and was pointing the flashlight into Paul's backyard.
Okay. So let me just break that down for a second. You talk about you woke up, you believe it was approximately 4:30 a.m., correct?
Yes.
Okay. So based upon being woken up, what exactly did you physically do?
I woke up and I looked at my clock.
Okay. You look at your clock. Did you get out of bed?
I did. Got out of bed.
Once you got out of bed, where did you go?
To my window.
Okay. Now your window, can you tell us what you can see from outside your window?
My bedroom window is to the top right of my house. When you're facing my house, I can see the Caneiro house and the neighbor's house. It's situated in the middle of both homes.
Okay. So do you live on the same side of the street or the opposite side of the street from the Caneiro house you referenced?
Across the street.
You said you made some observations of two men.
Yes.
Let's talk about them individually. Man number one, what was he doing?
Man number one was running across the street and ran to the Caneiro front door.
At that time, were you also seeing person number two, or were you watching them individually?
They were together, running across the street, and then kind of separated.
Now, you said they were together running across the street. Can you explain, where they were in relation to your house, the street, and the Caneiro and Marilyn's residence?
When I first saw them, they were somewhere in the middle of the street on their route across the street to the Caneiro home.
Okay. And I know you talked about the clothing, but did you talk about what, if anything, they may have had in their hands, observations you made?
They had flashlights.
How long did it take you from your first observation to see the guy pointing the flashlight? Approximately.
Pretty quickly.
Like less than a minute?
Probably a minute.
Okay. Now, once you see the guy pointing the flashlight, can you explain exactly where the light's going?
To the corner of the Caneiro backyard. The man was kneeling somewhere where the white truck is right now and pointing to the corner through the fence to the corner of that backyard.
When you make that observation of the guy pointing to the corner with the flashlight, do you look immediately to that, where the flashlight's going?
Yes,
Okay. And did you make any observations when you did that?
I did. I saw a fire on the bottom corner of the Caneiro home.
Detective, what are we looking at here? Who are we looking at?
That is a photograph of the defendant.
Okay, and specifically, I'm going to draw your attention to his left hand there. Okay, and is that what you had referred to earlier when you indicated you saw like, some sort of injury?
Yes.
Okay. Can we move to the next slide, please? Maybe slide 4, I believe. Okay, and what are we looking at here?
That's just a more close-up picture of his left hand and the injury.
Did you get to make observations? I think you said you did of the injury earlier while you were at the scene.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any difference in the way it looked from the time you were at the scene until these pictures were taken?
The swelling had increased by the time I took this picture.
And now we can move on to the last slide, 5. And what are we looking at here?
Picture of the defendant's left hand.
It's just closer up?
Closer version of it, yes.
Thank you.
It's an AI statement. It's irrelevant. I'm sustaining the objection. He just told you that this is not his words.
So what I did, I've never been in this situation before. This is the first trial that I've been involved with in my years of doing this.
So then let me ask you this before you say more.
This is
Is
just
this something that you wrote specifically for this case?
Yes.
And when did you write it?
Right after I was contacted by the prosecutor's office that we were going to have a pre-trial meeting.
Okay, got it. All right. So this was written more recently.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what about this one? This is D82.
Okay.
And it has your signature
Yeah.
on it.
So my signature was after the fact. That was a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago. This should not have been part of this packet, and I'll explain what this is. So when I was prepping to meet with Mrs. Wallace and Mr. Decker, I had never been in this situation. I had no idea what my report was going to be used for. I wasn't sure if I was going to be used as an expert witness or just an informational witness. So what I did was I threw my report into an AI, and I had it generate questions for me based on what my report said. And that's all that was, because I had no idea what I was about to enter. So I was just kind of having it ask me some questions and determine how my report could be seen in other different ways. So that's what
Okay,
that is.
so let me understand this then. You took your original report, which was S86.
Yes, ma'am.
You uploaded it to like a ChatGPT.
Yep.
And then you asked it, what was the prompt? You asked it to do what to create this?
My prompt, I don't remember what the prompt was exactly, but it was something along the lines of, if you were a defense attorney, how would you review my supplement report? And all those popped out. Yeah.
Okay, so you prepared this in anticipation of potentially being cross-examined? Is that what you were saying?
To a degree, yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay, and then you gave it to the prosecutor?
I didn't mean to give it to the prosecutor. Yeah, when I went to the meeting, I gave her another report, not because it was so long ago. I had no idea what they had and what they didn't have. So I gave her a copy of my report, and this was in the packet that I gave her. Yeah.
Okay, it has your name on it, though,
After the fact,
right?
yes. After the fact, I believe she had found it and said, "Is this yours?" I said, "Yeah." So there was no marking on it, so she had me sign it for me to confirm that it was actually my piece of paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for clarifying.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you again what was marked as D82.
Okay.
And I have a question about it because here, this is what you signed, right? This was the AI report
Yep.
that you were accepting for preparation,
I was just using it as a resource.
using it as a resource. Because this says, Paul gave inconsistent statements. He had an unexplained burn on his hand and claimed I'm just going to read this first part. I don't
Okay.
think. He had an unexplained burn on his hand.
Okay.
Are you accepting that as part of your testimony? Like, why is that written there, or are you not agreeing with that? That was the AI.
Well, it's not to disagree or agree. This is what it punched out, and that's what I read. But as far as his hands go, I didn't examine his hands, so I took his word for it. Yeah. So
then he wouldn't be giving an inconsistent statement, right?
I didn't say he gave me
Objection.
consistency.
I'm not even sure if this is an AI pushing it out. He's not saying anything.
I didn't. Oh, sorry.
So I'm not sure what the question is. The AI generated these responses to your question?
Yes, sir.
So it's not him saying it. So I sustain the objection.
So that's my question. So when we received this, you're not agreeing with this. These are not your words.
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with it. I just use it as a resource.
You're not disagreeing with the fact that Paul gave an inconsistent statement?
Objection.
I don't think he gave me an inconsistent statement.
He answered it.
Sir, if this says he gave an inconsistent statement, and you just said, I don't think he gave an inconsistent statement, that would mean you disagree with this, correct?
It's an AI statement. It is irrelevant what the AI statement. It's an AI statement. It's irrelevant. I'm sustaining the objection. He just told you that this is not his words. It came from a computer. So it's not something that he is saying. It's not even his report. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Judge,
Okay,
can
so-
I approach, please?
Sure.